Back up. Right about as soon as I can figure out the place that I did the thing. Hold on.
Right.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I was about to tell everyone how I'm going to get murdered tomorrow.
Well, if you do get murdered tomorrow, this will be the
I'll
squad.
let you know if I can't make D&D next week if I get murdered.
This will be the squad right here, because it's like D&D forensics. It's pretty awesome. So,
Right?
I would pickpocket for you.
yeah,
Aww,
you would.
thanks.
Now that they're downstairs, right? We're gonna pick back up.
Oh yeah.
And you guys, they head down the stairs. You have this, Nix. When you pull it out of the pocket, you realize that you pull out women's panties.
Yes!
What?
Yes! Yes!
What did I say, Daniel? What did I say?
Yes!
Panties.
The pervert!
I told you. I was
Yes!
like, it's panties. That was the first thing I said, and everyone.
Oh,
I don't know.
Mrs.
if they're
Gibb,
panties.
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
So Gibb is a perv?
Well, we don't know
Uh,
that. He could be. He could just wear them when nobody's.
He's a cross-dresser?
That doesn't make him a pervert.
It does
Excuse me,
not.
sir, this is
It just
2018.
When all in reality, he's actually the tobacco lady, and he framed a different girl to be dead.
Or maybe he
I could-
is the panties.
Mayhaps.
Mind is blown.
Okay, so I asked before we went to the break if I could. I am looking because I was drawn over my eyes to the something that Nyx was doing because
Sure.
she was screaming and blood was flying or scalp pieces or whatever.
Sure.
So I'm watching this exchange and her clumsily fall into him. Do I notice her hip hop?
Give me a perception. Let's see what you got.
Sure. Keep going to double check my perception since the level. All right.
Ooh. Cypress, you do actually notice that she manages to grab something from his pocket. As he walks away, this frilly lace-type material falls from his pocket, and she bundles it up in her clenched fist.
Okay, and do I notice the other guy notice her? Do
Yes.
I notice this?
He
Okay,
kind
so
of
I
like
notice the whole
turns
thing.
and he's pointing down to her, but Bart is kind of guiding him along, like, come on, let's get down here.
And this is the husband of the
Yes.
woman that's dead.
Yes,
Right. Well, he's fucking distraught. Who knows what he sees?
this is Barrows. Barrows.
Talking about panties when his wife's dead. It's him.
Barrow looks to each of you, and he's clutching his cap. Man is very clearly a farmer. He's got some kind of like overall material on that's been tattered and it's dust ridden. And he looks to you guys and he says, "Have you found something? It was a murder."
I sort of see him and I kind of walk towards him and I'm like, hey man, listen. And I go to like put my hand on his shoulder. Does he allow me to do this? Like
Yeah.
I'm approaching him like very friendly.
Yeah, you can see that he's incredibly distraught. He's fidgeting over his cap.
Stay a while and listen.
I don't know what I'm going to do with my Lorraine.
Listen, man, like maybe we should talk. Why don't you come with me, man? And I kind of put my hand on his shoulder. I kind of guide him out with everybody and Bart. I'm kind of trying to push him through that moment of seeing her because I know she's up to something. I'm trying to like keep him going.
Sure.
Like, come talk to me. We got to talk about the murder.
Sure. On the
whatever you saw.
way up the stairs, he kind of looks back down to Nyx again, and he mutters in a way that like you can hear. He says, "I think she has some of Lorraine's knickers."
Like, man, you're going through a lot. Let's just get outside and talk. And I just kind of keep trying to guide him. I just talk right through it.
Why would she have? You're right. It doesn't matter now. Oh God! He covers his face with his cap. I'm going to miss that.
I know you will, man. I know. And I'm like putting my hand on his shoulder. I'm looking very serious at him. I'm trying to. I do feel for the guy. I feel bad. Nobody should have to have their wife murdered like that. But yeah, I am also trying to just kind of move him on.
Okay.
So anyways, does he come with me?
Yeah, he does. He does.
Cool. I'll just guide him outside.
Sure. You'll take him outside, and you'll kind of hear some of the town folks begin to scatter at the sound of you exiting. The door will kind of close behind, and you'll get some of that ambiance from the outdoors sort of swelling back in. When he sees them, he kind of he rubs his sleeve across his eyes, and it's hard to shake away those immediate feelings because, well, he's very clearly a proud man. He's drawing his face as much as he can, but when he looks back, his eyes are all puffy and they're red, and he's got a line of snot running down his lip. He's just a mess.
I avoid that.
Okay, figured you might.
I avoid that slot. Snot. I avoid that slut.
Oh God.
Anyways. Anywho.
So forgive me, sorry.
It's okay, man. You take your time, man. I'm just so sorry, and I'm just comforting him as best I can.
These trying times in Raven Grove. People work slow, and Earth is dead. Nobody wants to buy anything, and nothing's right.
I kind of nod with kind of yeah, nothing is right. This guy's kind of suck. I'm quiet though. I'm not actually saying anything. I'm just letting him talk. I'm letting him get it out.
We are outside at this moment, correct?
Yes.
We're
Well,
all
I mean, some of
outside?
you are in the basement, but for anybody that wanted to also go outside, you can. Cypress is currently outside.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm still in the basement.
All right.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
guys can
imagining
split
that.
it.
Yeah, I'm in the basement as well.
Okay. He looks to you and he dries his face again each time he catches the line of snot, and his sleeve is already completely saturated from tears, and when he draws it away, the line of snot just slides across his face into his beard, and he's just
Good for him.
I would have done that. I would have killed a sweet woman like Lorraine.
You!
He's asking me who would.
I think he's just talking.
Is he just talking? He's bumbling.
I mean,
Yeah, you know how people
do it.
bumble like that? Who would do that to her?
Yeah. I'm actually, it's the Whopper. we've been following him for days. We released him, by the way.
Out
Damn.
of character, we've encountered a few of them from the skipping song now, so I think that potentially the hammer killed his wife thing, so I don't know. We'll have to see if that's a thing. I'm gonna read this, you carry on.
Okay.
Okay.
Cypress, I'll just kind of leave you there to entertain this individual.
Yeah,
if you wanted to
yeah,
ask anything
let- yeah, let me
specifically,
do it.
then just go ahead and jump in.
I was trying to help the situation of allowing her. Yeah. So
Right.
I was gonna ask who found the body and
Okay,
'cause we
then
don't really know.
let's go ahead back to the basement. Nyx, Symarra, Mogar, the floor is yours in this situation. Commence your investigation.
Nyx kind of, just like this a little bit, and she's like, Gib, where is the bathroom? She just asks really awkwardly.
I think there's a chamber pot upstairs.
Okay.
Why you gotta go? How could you even have the stomach for going right now?
Gotta go. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You can't hold
Just
it.
go upstairs.
Okay,
It's-
all right. Nyx then goes to the bathroom because she
Okay.
has no idea what to do with these panties in her.
Sure.
Okay.
You charge upstairs. You see through the cracked door. It looks like Cypress is speaking, probably about 10-15 feet away, to the husband. And you move over to the corner, outside of the forays of anyone that could be watching.
Okay.
What do you do?
Is there just what else? What is in this bathroom? Is there nothing else?
No, it's not. There's no bathroom.
Oh, it's just a pot.
Yeah, it's
All right.
quite
Well,
literally a pot.
Nyx kind of just looks at the panties and she's just like, and
It's
she just sticks one of her legs in and then the other, and she kind of just puts them up and then she covers herself and she just stays there, and she's like, okay, because I don't have a bag, dude. Like my
You're
bag.
wearing the panties
I have to. I don't know where to put them. Where am I gonna put them?
in your mouth.
Between your ass.
Hey, Nix. Not like I have my shorts on. They're just like over my shorts. Like I'm just
Can't
like
put them between
awkwardly
your
wearing
sheets?
them, and then
I
like
don't know. Important taught me
I like
anything.
really
You put
like
panties in
bundle
your-
up with my cloth, like my thing, and I just really bundle up so it goes down to my legs, and I'm just like.
This is not the direction I thought you would take this. This is one of those situations.
This is not surprising to me at all. Unfortunately.
This is one of those situations where I've planned for this to go one of 5 ways, and she found the 6th.
Yeah, no, like the 80th.
Yes.
Some weird. I'll just wear these panties out. You're like the people that go to Walmart in the changing room and just walk out with the product.
People do that all the time and steal bras.
Yeah,
They leave their old
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Okay.
ew.
that's how I do it.
They're expensive, to be fair.
I know, right?
Well, Nix has stepped away. Symarra and Mogar, you have Bart and Gib in the basement. Gib steps over to the both of you. What did you find? Surely you've got something. Anything. Help me out here.
Well, I didn't look at the knives yet. Ah! That's my character.
Mogar says Mogar. He goes Mogar, and then explain everything that he found with that I told the gang about.
Is that still being sheepish?
Kind of. Yeah, he's just kind of looking around at this point. Like, you can tell that when Nix exited the room, his shyness, it's kind of stepped away. It looks like we hit 236 subs. You guys have a 4th luck reroll.
Yay!
Interesting.
So use them or lose them.
Well, we gotta use them, gang. We gotta use them. All right.
Okay. Well, I mean, we looked over all the blades in the house, and we didn't see anything that was missing outside of the razor.
Is there any way that I can be able to? I don't know if there's like.
Tell me what you want to try to do.
If
and
it's-
see if we can help out.
Because nowadays, I know you can't do it back in the day, but nowadays there's ways that you can tell if it was like a blade, if it was an axe, or if it was like some type of sharp or like utensil, and
Sure.
what type of blade it was.
I mean,
and
you
stuff
can
like that. Is there
you can pretty much tell, like with a heal check. A heal check will tell you a lot of things. In this case, heal would probably also tell you about a particular wound as well.
So even if I don't know how to do heal, I thought Symarra already did heal.
So a couple of
fail?
people have done
Yeah.
heals.
We're not always going to
We've got-
notice the same things, you know?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so do you mind if I roll heal real quick?
Yeah, go for
Because
it.
I'm still skeptical. I'm still like,
Basically,
Mogar knows that this is something's wrong. dude. He's
anytime
like,
you ask a question that hasn't been asked again, you can get a potential roll for it. And in this case, you wanted to ask what kind of weapon could have done this.
Yeah, you asked a different one from.
So this is a new roll.
Sweet. Let's go.
Go for it. Let's see what you got.
And this is heal, correct?
Yep,
Wow.
a sharp one.
Stay a while
Yeah.
and listen.
Sharp one, yeah.
One with one that's
let,
bladed.
let me try again.
Okay.
Oh
all
my
right.
god.
I mean,
so,
you could check how sharp her blades are. You
True.
never know.
true. I've only used one luck reroll, right? I believe.
2.
So I
This will
think
make
I
your
still
second
have
one that you've used.
2?
You've got 2 left.
So this is the second one that I'm going to use right now.
Correct. No, this will be your third. If you use it right now, this will be your third. You have 4. Remember, you have 4.
Yeah, sure. I'll try it.
Okay. All right. Let's see what you got.
Mogar doesn't do numbers.
Oh my goodness!
Well played.
Mogar.
Well played. That's
Whoa.
that's good stuff. If old inspiration was back, I would say that was pretty clutch in this situation. But
Oh,
that's not the case.
not.
Mogar, you think that it's some kind of small blade. It doesn't look like the cuts, in the way that the wound is itself, based off of your heel, you can see that it was something that was drug across. There is not a pierce, right? Like it's not a matter of depth in one point and then drug across away. This is a slice, just a fine slice across the neck. But there are multiple cuts.
And these multiple cuts were all identical?
Yes, they all look like similar wounds.
Was it jagged ends, kind of like a saw blade, or
Negative.
was it like...
This was not jagged.
So like a cooking knife?
Hey, Mogar, maybe you should look to see if all the cuts were done all at once or done over and over again, one after the other.
Yeah, let's do that. Can I get a roll for that?
You just ask the...
Based off of the information that you see, it's not possible for a single blade to do all of this in one stroke. This was multiple slashings.
Okay.
And does all these slashings have the same red, weird...
Yes.
So
Yes,
in my
it does.
mind, someone could have... Can I check her arms? I know this is weird, but can I check her arms?
Yeah.
Because I know
can
she was all
arms.
crippled and stuff, but for someone that is crazy, because I can be crazy at times, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of horror films, and sometimes the killers, they would do some crazy things. If they would be slashing them, especially after death, possibly they were torturing them. I would like to see if there's a signs of torture before death, because of course after you can see that she just sliced him like crazy. He or she sliced him like crazy. But what I want to see were they like basically held in all four places and just like up levitating, almost being pulled on each corner.
So you want to
Like
you're
a
basically
slash.
you're trying to determine like the angle per se.
I'm just trying to see if they had like
Ligature
Any kind
marks.
I think what he's saying is he wants to check the body to see if there's any bruising, any cuts, any other indication of
like a noose or anything like that.
Why there was
Yeah,
no
like-
struggle. kind of
Gotcha.
thing.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, based off of what you can see, once you kind of like, you're gonna need to clear the blood away from the throat, where it has, in this case, it's been moved. Right, it's been like, the blood has been borderline smeared over where it's bled out from the, from the wound itself. You kind of clear this dried up blood, this frozen dried up blood. We'll say with like some kind of cloth, maybe terry cloth, maybe just loose linen. And as you do so, you realize that there are spots. This today medically it's called petechial hemorrhaging. In this case, there are red spots. It sort of looks like what happens when blood vessels burst under the skin and causes hemorrhaging. There was damage to the throat after death, from what you already know, and before the cutting.
Were these red hemorrhages something that is caused by that can be on before? Like, is it like a disease, or is this something that is when you cut after death?
This is something that happened before the cutting. It sort of looks like someone was very angry. Based on this, like, once you've removed the blood, you can see that there is additional hemorrhaging, right? Like, there are more bruises around her neck. It doesn't look like there's a noose, but it looks like someone tried to throttle her, choking her.
Someone's trying to break her.
Maybe break her neck?
All right. So, I would like to because I'm guessing Symarra's the only one that's next to me at this point.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you've pointed this out to her or not.
No, I would like to. I would like to inform Symarra that I'll be like, Mogar, come, and then tell Symarra exactly what I found
Okay.
after cleaning it up and whatnot.
Feel like everyone in the cellar would know.
Potentially. Potentially. Nix, you would probably be
Ah.
stepping down into the basement again at this time. When you do so,
Okay.
you'll see that Mogar is calling for Symarra over, and it seems like everyone is interested in what Mogar might have found. Nix, are you wearing like robes or what?
Yeah,
what
I have my cape, my long cape with the hood.
Perfect.
It's, like, weird.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's like long.
As you're walking, you note that these human panties don't stay up on you very well. With every step, they start to fall from your hips.
Why can't I put like half of that back in my butt crack? Like what? Like why can't I like what? Like
You want to wedge.
You're not saying you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
you basically
Why-
want
Tell
to.
us.
All right. She wants to wedge the underwear in her ass.
Do you
I
remember
do.
that time when Nix was shouting evidence at Gib? And got mad at him for throwing a scalp down this? I remember that.
I remember that too.
I remember.
I remember.
But crack
I
evidence.
remember. Crack evidence.
Yes.
Nix is on
Yes.
track.
This is perfect. Okay. All right. So you manage to tousle this up and gird this inside of your ass.
Well, like I'm wearing them. They just like the sides where your legs are. They just go really like into my butt crack.
Oh, we get it.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
I get
just
it.
all right. I'm just making sure because I feel like
I'm
you
just
don't.
making
I don't
Just making
I
sure
feel
like-
exactly
I
how
feel
this-
like you guys thought I
I-
took them off and just stuck them in my butt crack. And I'm like, that's not what I did here. I'm
Okay,
wearing
but let's pretend that you did. Go, go on, DM.
All right. So this is like a little kid finding her mom's panties and like putting them on, and then just clenching really tight so that they don't fall off.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, it's like I'm just like yeah.
So
like I
now-
just opened my robe and I'm like,
Oh my God, she's gonna
Do you
buff.
notice-
She's gonna
do
buffalo
you notice
bill
anything
this.
different?
Just would you fuck me?
Would you fuck? I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck me.
If you had a dick, it'd be tucked.
That's so good. That's so good. All right.
Just to fit the panties.
That was a good movie, man.
That's a good movie. That's a good
That was you're not wrong. It was a good. Movie. Okay, so you've wedged these oversized underwear into your ass crack. You know that any strenuous movement, it's going to cause some looseness in these. You risk this falling down, like they falling at your feet. So you step down the steps. Everybody notices that you have a bit more of a tense posture. Like you borderline have your arms out like you're very gallant. And as you stride down the stairs, they briefly look back and notice you. Mogar probably like flinches his brows at you, but then looks back and he's like, Symarra, Mogar fight this, and points back.
Come to me.
Okay. It's like jump across the room. So, we obviously we know it's a little bit suspicious, and so we see that, and I'm like, can I? I'm kind of thinking, can I roll to think about the skipping song to see if I'll maybe connect them, or think even
Even looking at
consider
this,
it.
even looking at the skipping song, this is a bit of a stretch. Like this
Well,
isn't
yeah, 'cause
really
it's-
said
thinking, like,
much.
angry.
This is
like, who's
definitely
gonna be angry at her kind of thing.
Yeah.
So who's gonna be angry enough at her? And then obviously, we don't know. Did Gib tell us who found her body?
her husband.
Yeah, and it's like trying to cover it up, kind of thing. How she died, right?
Yeah.
Being smushed in the head, so they're really cross, and then they tried to strangle her, and then they tried to cover it up in a different death way, and then Gib all of a sudden had the knife, which doesn't really add up. So like, who would be angry enough? And then with all the murders, they've all been linked to the skipping song so far.
Okay. I mean, if that's something that you feel like your character would intuitively be linking to this and bringing into State of Question, then you got it. You do just that. Like, I'm not the guy to tell you that you wouldn't do that unless it's like way totally outside
I
of your
think
obtuse
it's
level of
like-
thought.
Who would be angry with a hairdresser? In my and it's the husband killed his, and then in a song it literally says with a hammer killed his wife. We already know her head was smushed with a blunt instrument like a hammer. It said the word hammer, and then
But also she was choked.
So like that's where the angry bit comes in.
Yeah,
for me.
Symarra, you can tell that this is this wound, these hemorrhage marks. It's like this broken blood vessels under the skin. Is there's a lot of bitterness behind this. This was done intentionally so.
You know, something else to consider is what your stats actually are. You know, like how smart are you?
I think she's really smart, but she's not wise.
Yeah, but like, if you're just talking about like straight like mathematics, right? Like you're just putting the puzzle together.
Yeah.
Like wisdom is, you know, obviously more like of a like an intuition, right? You know, like the village idiot can still be perceptive of people, right?
Correct.
He's wise to the ways of people, but he's not necessarily smart, right? But you are smart.
Like,
you're very smart, and so I
Symarra's
wouldn't put it past you to connect these dots at all.
I kind of, the thing with Symarra is she might think it, but she'll just blurt it out and not think about who could hear it all the time. If it comes to her, she's like, oh!
What are we talking about?
What? What are we talking
What?
about? I'm talking about, like, whether or not I make a connection with the skipping song and this murder as well.
Sorry, I don't.
Sorry.
I kind of like.
I don't know.
Lost in my own train of thought, and then I was like, "What?" Just didn't make sense. Go on. I'm sorry.
I kind of want to, but I also don't know if it is actually relevant to it. But maybe I'll just sort of link the connection and start being suspicious of his.
Can I get a passive perception, please, from Nyx, Symarra, and Mogar, please?
Okay.
Perception?
Yes.
You said that so angrily. Is something?
I
going
know,
on
like he
in your eye?
was so mad.
No.
Yeah, you fuck ups. Why don't you get in line? You figure this out.
Hey! Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just say I'm suspicious of the husband for now.
Symarra,
I don't.
You notice something odd about Gibbs' face. When you point this out, Gibbs kind of leaning over, and he sees this, and his face is literally littered with confusion.
The husband's?
Gib.
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 Because
Okay.
husband is outside with
Outside. Right.
Cypress.
So right now his whole face just started changing from like normal Gib to like super confused.
Very confused, correct. As you're leaning down, like this is sort of, you're like looking down at this, but you're kind of like peeking out of the corner of your eye, Symarra, and you notice this. Gib chimes and goes, Where'd that come from? I never seen that before.
Seen what before?
Those right there, those red splotches.
It was under the blood. Guess it was all hidden. I don't know. It can happen. Do I know that bruising can happen post-mortem or no?
I don't think so. I don't think that you're that familiar with it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll say.
He kind of shakes his head and looks
I'll
back.
say I just suppose it was hidden underneath the blood and speak later.
Still remains slightly confused. Noticing that you're looking at him, he drops his facial expressions and he kind of looks back to Barney. He's like, "Well, I've got nothing. I've got nothing at all. We don't have a. Does this mean there's a killer on the loose? What the hell is this town coming to? Why ain't you said nothing all day? Oh, sorry. What would you like me to say? People in this town are dying. I had to explain to you what happened to my face, and you don't believe me. And now we're here, after finding out that the people that we've grown up with is dead. Well, that's exactly what I said. My point, exactly. What the hell is wrong with this town?
Solo conversation though. Between
We'll sort of keep up. Just a bit.
I was like, whoa, for a hot second then. I mean, I don't know if Gable will have. I mean, it's the sheriff. They've seen. He might have seen people. I don't know if he'll have connected the dots. Really, that maybe someone's trying to frame him, or he didn't do it. So I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know. You've known these people for a long time. Would anyone don't know, hold a grudge against Lorraine?
No, no way.
What? I'm just trying to, you know. Was she your wife?
No way. Lorraine was, she was a total sweet pea. Everybody loved Lorraine. She was just kind to everyone. She been cutting Bart's head since that boy was knee high. It's true. It's true. I've been, yes. Listen, nobody had anything bad to say about Lorraine at all. And everybody liked Barrows too. He's a real nice fella. Okay, so we don't know what's going on.
How
much did you like her, Gib?
I hate to say this, Gib, but how was their relationship?
I don't know. To each their own, I suppose. I feel like theirs is as good as anybody else's in this town.
Ah!
Sense motive.
I will sense motive.
Sure.
Sense his motive.
You can try.
Do we all sense motive?
If you have reason to sense his motive, then yeah. If you feel like your character wouldn't have picked up on it, then probably not.
Yeah, don't do what I'm telling you just because I'm telling you to do it. But
I'm
I
so
feel
like
you'd be able to.
yeah. When he said she's nice to everyone, like nice to everyone.
Let's see that sense motive.
Okay. Oh, I need to do that. I don't have a bonus in it. I spent a thing on it to get it, so does that mean I have +1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I need to fix my sheet then, because I didn't fix it, and I forgot last. I'm just going to do that one. +1.
Smart, you don't feel like he's telling you the entire truth. Like you're not getting everything out of him. You do feel like it's true. She was kind to everyone. She was a really nice person. But you don't feel like you're getting everything out of it. Cypress, you've probably been outside for a good long while at this point, and he's mostly calmed down. But
I would love to question him.
Go for it. You got it. Hit me with it. Let's see what you got.
Okay, cool.
We'll come back. We'll come back to everything downstairs in just a moment.
Okay, so while you guys are down there, I'll start questioning him, and I'm just trying to let him talk it out, and kind of get it off of his chest. And as soon as I feel like there's a break or he's kind of done mumbling for a little bit and breaking into tears, I sort of just start into it, kind of as casually as I can.
Sure.
Hey man, we really want to figure out what happened. And you could be a real help to us, man. If you just tell us if you saw anything far out, or if something was different, man, like anything at all that just, even if it just was something that irked your instincts a little, man, like even about somebody, like share with me, man, please.
Well, I don't know if it matters for anything, but the sheriff comes around and he gets his ears lowered at least twice a month, and well, I don't ever see him doing anything with his hair, but he comes in. I tend the fields, and Lorraine, she cuts the hair of everyone in town. So I don't know. I'd always expected, not in these last few years, that things have been going down in our own life.
When I start to hear him talk about Gib, and he's kind of going into things, he's actually kind of opening up a little bit.
Yeah.
I make sure that we're alone. Like, if there are people around, I want to pull him to the side. If we're alone, we're out of earshot of people. I kind of like, hey, why don't we talk over here kind of thing?
Okay.
I just want to make sure that.
Sure,
yeah.
you manage to pull him to the side where there's a stack of bales of hay, creating a bit of a retention wall, and it muffles most of the sound from the outer town. And he continues speaking. Things have
Nothing's been right since her son passed away.
When was that, man? I'm so sorry to hear that, by the way.
About 7 years ago, I think. He was a beautiful baby boy, and he got sick, and well, we couldn't afford nothings, and the apothecary hadn't even been in town that long, and she couldn't help because she wasn't here. So he took with the illness, and he passed, and it was hard on Lorraine. It was too hard, and it's obviously putting a lot of pressure on us. And we tried, you know, we tried to bounce back, but it's just been too hard. A part of me expects that she's been seeing someone in town, but I've got no proof.
And you think that man might be Gibbs?
I had a feeling a while back. I seen the way that he looked at her, and it reminded me of the way that I looked at her when we were younger. I think a part of me is angry. I've always wanted to say something. I've always wanted to do something, but I've never had the muster. I've never had the goal, and I would never do this. No, I would never do this. We may not have been in love anymore, but this is too much. I miss her.
I can tell that, man. I once had somebody myself, and it didn't end that well either. My heart goes out to you, man. I really. And I put my hand on his shoulder, and I give him eyes. You can kind of tell that I'm being, very sincere about that. So then after I kind of comfort him a little bit and kind of had, just trying to share kind of a human moment with him.
Yeah.
I go back into, obviously the questioning, so, tell me, man, like, who found her here? You?
I did.
I
found her this morning. I was supposed to be out and tending the fields, and there's something that we always used to say, and last night we had a bit of an argument, and we used to tell each other, even now, that you never go to bed angry, and you kiss each other goodnight. It's what we would do. It was a practice, and last night was the first time I went to bed angry, and I didn't kiss my wife. She went into her study, and I could hear her banging away on meat stocks. She was preparing the daily meal. I couldn't handle it. I went out and slept in the barn.
What were you guys fighting about, if you don't mind me knowing?
I came up about her son again, and a part of me thinks that it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but a part of me thinks that Lorraine it was her fault. That she didn't care for him the right way, and he took ill. And she says it's my fault because I couldn't raise enough monies to get the care that our son needed.
Okay. And how did you feel about her, man? Did you blame her?
How can you blame for someone for that? I mean, I think a part of me did, but I don't. In my heart knows I don't think that it was her fault.
I asked him if anything else seems suspicious, or he said Gibbs, so I'm hearing him on Gibbs. But
Okay.
Is there anything else that was suspicious, or any person, or any event?
Out of character, Ello,
Yeah.
did he wake up somewhere else from where he went?
Yeah,
thinking-
that's a great question. Yeah.
I'm trying not to like leave.
No.
it if
I'm totally fine with you guys chiming in with whatever. Like, we're all on a team, right?
I'm sort of thinking.
I'm doing
like,
the RP, but like, I want everybody to feel like they can participate.
I'm sort of
Yeah.
like thinking, if he went to bed angry, and if there's a possession stuff going on, maybe that opened up the corridor for the spoopy, evil wife killer ghost man.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. I think that's an excellent question, though. Is like, wake up, you know, if you felt, did you wake up?
I don't know if I'm like focusing too much on it, but it's
no, I'll
just
work towards it.
right
I'll work towards
line.
the questioning.
the exact line is with a hammer killed his wife. So
Yeah.
like,
No, I'm not writing it. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy could be possessed and not know anything. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem super intelligent. You know, if he was
Yeah.
possessed, he wouldn't know what to think. He's not gonna. You know, what does he know?
remember
If he
it,
knows
so-
anything about magic, he's a farmer for Christ's sake.
just
so.
like the sleep thing.
Okay, so and plus I'm kind of recalling in my head that, you know, the knife that Gib had didn't have, you know, it didn't have blood on it from what I can remember, you know, from earlier, but that's neither here nor there. I asked him if there's anything else that stuck out to him. I'll start with that.
Okay. I don't think so. What, she looked horrible when I found her. Did you see, Lorraine? Why would she be like that?
What was she? What was that last part?
Why would she be like that? She was a mess.
You know, man, I've traveled these lands quite a bit. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of different places, and I can tell you that there are forces at work beyond our understanding, and I'm not talking about in a religious sense, man. I'm just saying there's magic, deep magic in this world, and sometimes that magic is dark. And man, I want you to know, like, I'm gonna do everything I can to figure this out. I'm just gonna ask a few more questions, though, man. If that's okay with you.
You find him. You bring him to me. Whoever it is, beat the daylights out of him.
If we find him, man.
He took something
If
from
we
me.
find him.
What other questions?
What are you
might
saying?
have?
Oh, okay. So last night you said that you went to sleep in the barn, man. I just had a curiosity. Is that where you woke up?
I woke up there many a times. We move into town and you got to drink your sorrows away, take a piss, and fall asleep in the barn with the horses. And well, it's warm. It's not the best smelling, but it's not bad.
And that's where you woke up?
Yes.
What about
Stay a
your
while and listen.
hands or your legs? Were you sore? Were you...
I'm all normal. I'm a farming type. Hands covered in all sorts of things. And he shows you his hands, and sure enough, they're riddled with scabs and padded skin from overuse of tools. You can clearly tell that he's tilled a field or two in his time.
Sure. Anybody else have any bright ideas?
Well,
Shit.
I have a question. So he didn't, sorry, that whole drinking comment kind of got me all weird. So when he and Lorraine were fighting, he didn't go out to drink, did he?
I can ask him that.
Like, that's my only question, because like he brought up drinking and then sleeping in the barn, but I don't know if that's like a connection.
They say he woke up millions of times in the night, correct?
You know what? I actually want to sense motive on his last statement that he woke up in the barn when I asked him directly.
Okay.
Let me see what that's all about. Or try to.
All right.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Like re-roll.
I kind of wonder a little bit, I don't know if this is possible, with the amount we've sort of seen of people being possessed at night now, would Ello potentially recognize an aura if he searched for it?
If he had the ability to, potentially.
Yeah.
I just don't know what. Like,
Cypress, you get the feeling as if he's telling you the truth, as if it's just all honesty on the table. He doesn't really recall waking up anywhere else. It's just the same old, have a fight, go out, drink, come back, and wake up in the same spot.
Okay. I want a perception on him. Do I notice anything weird about his persons? Does he have blood on his, cuff, his fingernails?
Sure.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm just looking at him for whatever. D20 plus 9. I'm gonna re-roll that actually, even if it might not give me much. I've got luck rolls, and I suck. And I'm gonna use this last one, and then I'm gonna keep the last one in case we need something.
Okay.
Special. There we go.
Yeah, you do notice something. You notice that his overalls that he's wearing, these coveralls, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
they're not very dirty. You don't know if that's because of any particular reason, but no, there's no blood, but his clothes also don't really seem as well worn compared to the rest of his body.
Do I see any areas where it looks like they've been cleaned recently, or they're still damp, or anything like that?
You don't see any areas on him, per se, as you kind of glance around, but you notice that you're not that far from the barn, and you can see that there is smoke rising from the rear side of the barn.
Really? Interesting.
It's not a lot of smoke, it's just enough. Just enough.
Like, not enough to be like, oh, fire, everyone get up.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay. Man. I kind of, just casually moving on with the conversation as eyeing him up and down. Man, you mentioned you drink pretty often, man.
Often
is that
enough.
only when you guys fight, or do you just enjoy a good drink?
I need something to get me out of my headspace. Up here in my think box. I don't want to have these feelings. I don't want to think ill of my wife. So I drink to take the edge off. You understand?
Oh yeah, man, I totally understand. In fact, I reach in and I grab one of my joints and I light it up and I puff it a few times.
He looks, he's like, no, that was Lorraine's thing. I was not much of a smoker.
Suit yourself, man, but yeah, I know a thing or two about vices. And I kind of take a few hits and just kind of chill back, just relax a little bit there. Where's Tima right now?
Tima is probably sitting nearest the door. Knowing that this is a very small house, you probably left her nearest the door. He kind of looks to you, like grabs his hat, like flexes it in his hands, and he looks into town, sort of like he's waiting for someone or something, and he kind of looks to you like he's waiting on you to finish.
Tima is looking like...
No, this is Barrows.
Barrows, okay. He's looking like he wants... So he's looking kind of nervous or jittery or...
Sort of. Yeah. You can definitely tell that there's something up about his person.
Okay, so has he noticed the smoke is what I'm drawing.
He is
okay,
not.
No. Really? Okay. Man, here, honestly, I'm gonna say to him, man, sometimes I take another hit. I just want to sit and I want to think about things, kind of away from everything. You know what else gives me comfort, man?
No. What's that?
Man, the company of good friends. And I kind of wink at Tima, kind of in a knowing way, like to come over. And when she does, I tell her to sit kind of in front of us.
When you whistle and he looks over and sees the bear, like he looks and then he double takes and he looks to you and he takes a couple of steps back with like his hands down, not really knowing what to expect.
Yeah. I tell him, oh, man, no. He's a harmless man. Well, to you. She's friendly. You can give her a pet. Better.
No, I don't think I will.
All right, suit yourself. And I kind of want to sit Tima down almost as if like I'm leaving Tima with him.
Okay.
To make him sort of uncomfortable. And I just kind of pat him on the knee as I get. I guess he's gotten up. I guess he's moved back a little bit.
Yeah.
Never mind, I don't touch him then. I just sort of get up and I take another hit and I say, I was like, I'm going to go for a walk and think about this a little bit, man. If you could watch Tima, that would be really swell. She's easy. Just keep an eye on her, man.
I don't think
and I just walk off.
I don't even let it.
I just walk.
I'm going to get a drink.
I just keep walking.
Oh, God, no.
I just keep walking. And I leave Tima there with him, and I go check out what's burning behind the barn.
Okay. All right. When you make it to the rear side of the barn, it appears that there is what looks to be a small refuse pit that he would use to kind of burn off old lumber or anything like that. And it appears that sometime earlier, some kind of clothing, like cloth material, linen, was burned.
Interesting. Is that all I can really see from it? Is that cloth was burned?
Yes. It's still like emitting
cloth or...
negative. It's still emitting like a little bit of a residue of smoke that's rising above.
Okay. Can I look around the area or barn? I'm gonna look inside the barn.
Okay. You can tell that there is a very clear spot that he regularly uses to lay in. There is most of an indentation of what looks to be like a man sleeping in the fetal position. But for the most part, it seems fairly legit.
From the burning, does it look like something that happened right before they came and got us? I mean, it's still burning, so it had to be recent, right? Or is it?
It's been, I mean, depending on how saturated the material was, it could have been a few hours.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you stew on some ideas, and I'm gonna I'm gonna pass this back.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna pass this back over to you guys. Symarra very clearly has some things that she wants to say and or do, but I also see that Nyx, you are clenching and waddling down the steps.
So I kind of lost exactly what I was gonna say, but I was gonna kind of like try push him a bit more with it and say, Gib, whoever did this was very angry. This wasn't just a cut to the neck. This is not what we've seen before. This is personal, and I think that you and I both know there's a bit more than you're telling me. If you're like, you might be embarrassed, it might not look great for you, but you know, it kind of looks worse if you get put down for her murder. I don't think you did it, but you need to help me out here.
I don't know exactly what you think you're suggesting, but I didn't have anything to do with this.
I'm not talking about this specifically. I was talking about Lorraine.
What about Lorraine?
There's more than you... I lost the train of thought.